Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for coming today. My name is Hamad Ali Khan and I am from NID University of Engineering and Technology. I am from Mechanical Department. The topic which we are going to discuss today are the resonant bridges and how to identify these resonant bridges by using simple drive-by method and by using the track irregularity data measured by these high-speed trains. Basically, bridges are designed to support vast amount of load, but the vibrations associated with them must be controlled. Why? Because these vibrations have a great influence on the dynamic structure of the bridges. The dynamic response of the bridges is one of the fundamental problems to be solved in bridge design. The train running with high speed induced dynamic impact on the bridge structure, influencing their working state and service life. And did you know that the research work on this subject has a long history of more than 150 years? Now, the main goal of this study is to understand the resonance phenomena and how the resonance affect the dynamic structure of these bridges. Then we develop a theoretical and a mathematical model to represent these resonant bridges. And then we discuss the methodology of this subject. After that, we discuss the results and finally jump to the conclusion. So, what is resonance? If the force is applied to the bridge is at a frequency which matches the bridge fundamental frequency, the vibrations within the bridge will be amplified in a phenomena called the mechanical resonance. But why we study resonance phenomena in bridges? The simple answer is the Tacoma Bridge, which was constructed in 1938, but due to the very high wind speed, it collapsed in 1940. And the reason behind this is the resonance. Just the thought of how wind can excite the bridge structural resonance to a point where it collapses is pretty incredible. Now we discuss the theoretical knowledge. First, we understand the deflection in beam and types of response in the railway bridges. Then we discuss the resonance mechanism in the high-speed railway bridges, which will ultimately give the relationship between the maximum displacement and the resonance. Then we discuss the track irregularities, what are the methods and what are the measuring instruments which are used to measure these track irregularities. And then we finally discuss the theoretical model. Now we are going to understand the deflection in beams. Whenever the high-speed trains passes by the bridges, it influences the structure of the bridges, due to which there are two types of deflection occurs in the beam. One is the maximum dynamic displacement due to the moving load, and second the maximum static deflection due to the weight of the bridge. And from most recent studies, it can be seen that maximum bridge deflection occur when the train reaches its critical speed. Both these figures, we can conclude that maximum deflection occurs at the midspan of the bridges with a train speed of 250 km per hour. Now we are going to analyze and discuss the resonance mechanism in the high-speed railway bridges. The primary objective of this study is to detect resonant bridges. The train speed at which resonance phenomena occur can be calculated as V resonance equal to F naught into LC, where V resonance is the resonance train speed, F naught is the bridge fundamental frequency, LC is the vehicle length. Now after some calculation, the train speed at which resonance occur is 250 km per hour. What? This is the same speed? Yes, this is the same speed at which maximum deflection of the beam occur. Therefore, we jump to the conclusion that by measuring the maximum deflection or more precisely track irregularity of the railway line, we can easily determine resonance, thereby helping us to detect resonant bridges. Now, we are going to discuss track irregularity and how to measure the track irregularity by using the devices mounted on a bogie. There are two types of measurements. One is the inertial measurement units and second one is the displacement sensors. Inertial measurement units include gyroscope and the accelerometer, while the displacement sensors include four laser sensors. Gyroscope and accelerometer can be used to determine the location of the measuring device, while the location of the measuring device unit relative to both rail is measured by using laser displacement meter. After combining both these data from the inertial measurement unit and the displacement sensors, we can measure track irregularity. Let us combine all the above theoretical knowledge into a single theoretical model. In the theoretical model, we are analyzing the resonant bridge displacement component. The train load was idealized as a concentrated load sequence introduced at equal interval along the vehicle length. And we focus on the bridge displacement at the certain point for the concentrated moving load. In the theoretical model, we analyze the model of bridge as a 2D simply supported beam, and we also consider the model of train as a 2D vehicle. This is the theoretical model which we develop. In the theoretical model, the P is referred to as the concentrated load, LC is the vehicle length, LC is the vehicle length, it is the length of a bogie of high speed trains. ZB is the bridge displacement component. This is the bridge vertical displacement at time t and position x. EI is the bridge bending stiffness. It is the resistance against bending deformation. Bending stiffness is the product of Young modulus and the moment of inertia I. MB is referred to as bridge unit length mass. It is also called linear density of the bridge. And CB is the damping constant. The damping constant describes the behavior of the bridge system. It tells the decaying rate of the system. To find the displacement component at the resonance. If we somehow calculate that response, then we can easily determine the resonance condition of that bridge. There are two types of displacement component as mentioned in this figure. Bridge displacement component is comprises of two components, the quasi-static deflection component and the dynamic response component. The quasi-static deflection component depends on two factors, wheel load and wheel position, while the dynamic response component depends on bridge frequency, model damping ratio, magnitude of the load. The total displacement component is the sum of both the quasi-static deflection component and the dynamic response component. Since the quasi-static deflection component does not change with time, therefore we are only considering the dynamic displacement component. Then the total displacement component has the form of the following relationship. Now we are going to discuss the proposed method of this study. The basic concept in the proposed method is to identify the difference in track irregularities in resonant bridges estimated by different vehicle. There are several components included in rail irregularities and the track irregularities. Basically, the proposed method is divided into sub three sections. Number one, we have to obtain the components from the track irregularity data. There are three components: static response, dynamic response and the rail irregularities. All these three components do not take part in the resonance. Only dynamic response is only the component which is taking part in the resonance. So the second method is to extract only those components which take part in the resonance by using the difference processing. After that, we do the time domain analysis. The component which is obtained from difference processing are then analyzed in time domain that can extract resonance bridge displacement component as a function of bridge position. Now my partner will discuss the methodology of this study and also discuss the result of this study. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Ali Ahmad Wara. Now from onwards I will continue. So first of all we will discuss the methodology. Here you can see we have divided into two sections, measurement and signal processing. The measurement was already discussed by my partner. The signal processing were further divided into band pass filtering, envelope processing, difference processing, determination of resonant bridges by RTI amplitude and RDA peak span. The band pass filtering. The filtering process allows only those frequencies to pass through the electronic filter which is under a predefined band and stop all those frequencies which are outside the band. And envelope processing estimate the frequencies which pass through the band pass filter. And in different processing, the track irregularities measured by the first and last vehicle at the same location can be measured. Now we will discuss the effects of different parameters on a resonant bridge detection accuracy and check whether we can use the proposed method or not. Here we will see 5 different effects. Number 1, effect of train speed. Number 2, effect of bridge span. Number 3, effect of bridge damping. Number 4, effect of measurement error. And number 5, effect of position identification error. So let's move on the effect of train speed. At different train speed 200, 230, 250, 270 and 300 km per hour, the suggested RDI was checked. It shows that when there is no resonance, there are minor changes between the first and final vehicles as shown in the graph, and RDI values are maximal for non-resonant train speed, that is A and E. Similarly, we observe the RDI values by changing the bridge span length from 20 meter to 60 meter. And we conclude that RDI only generates a convex shape component at resonant speeds in any span. As a result, this approach is likely to apply to a wide range of resonant bridges with span length ranging from 20 meter to 60 meter. And when the bridge is in resonance, it is difficult to increase the dynamic response component. Therefore, compared to other spans, the RDI at resonance was low. Now we will discuss the effects of bridge damping. Using 1%, 2% and 5% bridge model damping, maximum displacement at bridge mid-span were observed as shown in the graph. By using the suggested approach to tracking irregularity while traveling through these bridges with varied bridge damping, the influence of bridge damping on detection accuracy is proven. Similarly, as you can see in the other diagram, the RDI was calculated with 1%, 2% and 5% bridge model damping. So it shows that at non-resonance, the effect of bridge damping has essentially no effect on the RDI. Furthermore, when the model damping is 5%, the RDI in resonance has the least amplitude. The RDI's main range is largely unaffected. Therefore, as a result of these findings, it can be deduced that bridges with model less than 5% are detectable using the suggested method. Now the effects of measurement error. Here the results of simulation with measurements error have been discussed. The error is introduced by implying the normal distribution with a standard deviations of 0.1, 0.2 and 0.5 mm to generate a random number. At a speed of 250 km per hour and a bridge span length of 50 meter, we analyze the effect of the error. The first and final vehicles measurement error were created separately from the same normal distribution, and the errors were added to the first and last vehicles, the bridge displacement respectively. When the measurement error is 0.5 mm, which is more than double the practical measurement error, the RDI is fairly changed, as you can see in the graph. So we can conclude that the proposed method can detect a resonance bridge independent of the measurement error. In position identification error, we adjust the position of the last vehicle and applied the proposed method with position identification error to confirm the accuracy of the suggested method. Concerning the first vehicle, we looked at the circumstances when the last vehicle has identification errors of 0, 250, 250, 500, 1000 and 2000 millimeters and a bridge span length of 50 meters, as you can see in the graph. It shows the effect of the position identification errors will be minor on the RDI in the range of 2000 millimeters. It is necessary to keep in mind that even when the bridge span is 50 meters, an error of approximately 1.5 millimeter can occur. If the band pass filter, these observations show that if the data are wrapped to enhance the RDI wavelength, the proposed method is robust in terms of position identification error between the first and the last vehicles. Therefore, bridges having RDI peak amplitudes greater than 1.5 millimeters and RDI peak spans meeting the bridge span length were identified as resonance based on the confirmed results. So, in the end, in this paper we have found the behavior of resonance bridges using the drive-by method. The resonance detection index RDI is used to suggest a methodology for detecting resonance bridges. The result tell us we can use the drive-by method to find out the resonance bridges. However, it is necessary to keep in mind the limitations we have taken in this study to apply the drive-by method. According to the results, we can find out the resonance bridges with span length ranging from 20 meter to 60 meter. We also introduced the error in this study, which has a negligible effect on RDI. These results tell us that we can apply the proposed method irrespective of the errors. However, for future aspects, modification in this method are needed. That's all from me. Hope you understood the concept.